Again, I'm with Adam Schrader here, who's a rep from Newmarket. And aside from being a Huntsman alternate down here at the RNC, Adam's been working on environmental issues from a conservative point of view. So, Adam, why don't you tell us what the problem is and what you're trying to do to solve it?
Responsible environmentalism, you might say, and pro-business and pro-environment issues at the same time. In Newmarket and Newfields, like many of the communities around Great Bay, we're looking at huge mandates coming on to us from the Environmental Protection Agency at the federal level. We've been working on ways that we might be able to help solve the issues in Great Bay in our own backyard and on the state level and the community level rather than from the federal mandated level.
Right, so you're actually having problems with the EPA right now mandating special forms of wastewater treatment that are going to put your expenses sky high. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And so one thing that we were able to do in the legislature this past year was pass the bill that incentivized oyster farming in Great Bay. Oysters are filter feeders, and they're capable of helping to clean the bay somewhat. And so the more oyster farms, the better for the bay. And so it's a pro-business, pro-environment at the same time.
That's interesting. Now, when you say incentivize, those that are sensitive among us might think subsidies. So
right, no, totally different from that actually. As a matter of fact, up until this year, the bill was just signed into law last week. Aquaculture was only given a one-year license at a time by New Hampshire Fish and Game. It takes oysters at least 3 years to mature to market size anyhow. And so what we had was a few oyster farmers in Great Bay that are taking the risk to go in there. We're taking a huge risk in terms of their monetary investment and their time and their commitment, given that they don't know that they're even going to be able to see their product through to sale.
So in other words, careful and sensible loosening of the regulations to encourage business.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we lengthened that term to 5 years, which in my opinion can even be longer, but it's certainly a start. Speaking with the oyster farmers and having been thanked by them, I think that we're looking at something that at least gives them some assurance that they're going to be able to move forward. What I'm hoping to be able to do with this now is use the oyster for branding purposes, for education and awareness, just as well as economic development for the communities along the bay. And if those farmers are coming there, hopefully people can start to visit the communities along the bay the same way that they consider the lobster up in Maine.
Excellent. So we promote the oyster business, we clean up the bay, and we push back against the EPA.
Exactly.
That sounds like a win-win-win to me.
That's a win-win-win, and what I'm hoping to accomplish here at the delegation, as well as my first convention, I'm not sure whether this is going to end up being the proper form or not, but I want to speak to other states about these causes as well, especially the New England states. A lot of states nearby to us are going through similar issues with the EPA and their bodies of water. I've been working very closely with Scott's Fertilizer Company. They're the largest fertilizer company in the U.S. anyhow, and they've been very amenable in working with government and getting ahead of the idea of changing the chemical composition of the fertilizer to reduce the quick-release nitrogen fertilizer, quick-release nitrogen in the fertilizer, also phosphorus levels that are harmful to these bodies of water, say if it rains right afterward. When people are over-fertilizing their lawns, they don't realize right now if it rains the next day, it all goes into the bay, and then excess nutrients build up, and they can't get enough sunlight after so many plants grow in the bay.
Right.
And so what's really neat is being able to work with businesses on this, and hopefully work with other states on working with Scott's on this, so that the government is working with business in such a way that Scott's is able to formulate one product, at least for all of New England, if I can talk to the states here over this week, and not just one for New Hampshire, one for Vermont, one for Maine, and where the composition is different in each case. We're trying to allow them to create one product that they can sell even nationally if possible.
Right. So on the one hand, you're providing local solutions for local problems and telling the federal government to get the heck out. On the other hand, you're working jointly with other states so that solutions in the fertilizer industry that create less runoff and less harm are acceptable formulations to a large number of adjacent states, so that it's viable as a business proposition.
Exactly.
And all of this done
Exactly.
by dialogue, not coercion, correct?
Exactly.
Wow,
So
what a concept.
Yeah, a different approach, I think, and hopefully a good example.
I like how you think. Thank you, Adam.
GrokTV.